Hi, welcome to Elefante Music. My name is Elefante, and I'm going to present a 3-lesson program to properly get you started on playing the clarinet. For the purpose of this lesson program, you will not need a book. Eventually, however, you will need to purchase the lesson book that your school is using for instrumental music. If you are unsure which book your school is using, you can contact Elefante Music. We have a list of all the local schools and the books that each school is currently using. We have those books in our inventory. If you choose to purchase one from our store, we can offer both non-contact pickup or we can mail it to you. We'd like to start this course by letting you listen to the sound of the clarinet. Following the video, there will be a 3-part clarinet lesson. Okay, so now I'm going to let you listen to the clarinet. I'm going to play something by Mozart. This is from the Mozart Clarinet Concerto. The next thing I want you to hear is the clarinet part in the Star Wars movie in the bar scene. You probably remember this. Okay, and now for the Broadway show Aladdin, I'd like to play Friend Like Me. Okay, now that you've had a chance to listen to our clarinet demonstration, you can see that it's a very versatile instrument. It has a terrific sound. It is also very important in the band as it plays many of the melodic parts. If you pick the clarinet, you have made a great choice. This was the first instrument I played when I started in the 4th grade and have never stopped playing it. I played it in grammar school, middle school, high school, college, the Army band, and I continue to play the clarinet professionally. Now let's continue on to lesson 1. Keep in mind that each lesson should be reviewed as needed to reinforce your skills. You'll be surprised how quickly you will learn if you follow the program. I'm now going to show you how to put the reed on the mouthpiece. I'm going to start by taking the cap off the mouthpiece and just putting it to the side and taking the ligature off the mouthpiece. This is the ligature and it's what holds the reed on the mouthpiece. Next, I'll take the mouthpiece out of the case. As you can see, it's a number 2 reed, and that's the one I suggest you use when you first start. You'll need to dampen the reed by just putting it in your mouth. While I'll dampen the reed, I'm going to put some cork grease on the cork, just like that. When you first get the clarinet, the cork will be a little dry, and that little bit of cork grease will help you be able to put it onto the barrel easily. Choose the side of the barrel with the diameter that's shorter. This is the side. You put the mouthpiece on by twisting it. Don't try to just jam it in. It works much better if you twist it on. Next, I'll take the reed and put it on the facing of the mouthpiece. This is a very important thing to do. You can't let it go to one side or to the other side, even a little bit. It has to be placed perfectly on the facing of the mouthpiece. You hold it on with your thumb, and then you take the ligature. The wider end of the ligature goes on first to conform to the profile of the mouthpiece. Once the reed is on perfectly, you will tighten the ligature. You don't have to over tighten it, but it does need to be snug. Now your reed is on the mouthpiece and on the barrel, and next I'll show you how to make a sound. So now I'm going to show you how to make a sound. You're going to have to put your top teeth on the top of the mouthpiece like this. Your bottom lip will cover your lower teeth, and your lip will be placed on the reed. That's how it should be done. Now you'll see how much mouthpiece I take into my mouth. Try to do the same thing. Then you will blow into it across the reed, and that'll make a sound. So that takes care of the first lesson. Practice it. Get that down soundly. Make sure your reed's on properly and you've made a sound. Do it as often as you need to, and then we'll go on to lesson 2. In this lesson, we're going to learn all the parts of the clarinet and how to properly assemble. If not properly assembled, you will have a much harder time playing the clarinet. You've already learned how to put the reed on with the ligature and put it onto the barrel. So the next section you're going to do is the upper stack. This is the upper stack, so you can familiarize yourself with it. Again, we're going to apply a little bit of cork grease, and we're going to twist the barrel onto the upper stack. Now what you need to do is you need to make sure that the reed is even with this key. This is the register key, which is on the bottom part of the clarinet. You need to put it on like that. The top will look like this. Okay? Be careful to do that properly, or it won't function properly if you don't do these things correctly. I'm going to put some cork grease on the lower part of the upper joint. I'm going to take the lower joint now, which looks like this, and I'm going to twist it on to the upper joint. Before I do, however, I'm going to take this key here and hold it down so it lifts the bridge key. Otherwise, it'll catch on to the lower stack and won't work properly. You need to align the bridge key perfectly to the lower bridge key. It's got to be right. Okay, when the clarinet is fully assembled, your thumb will go over this hole. Your first finger here, second, third, then your thumb on your right hand goes below the thumb rest, index finger, next finger, next finger, and that covers all the holes. This is the first note we're going to learn. Your thumb goes on the thumb hole like that, and your first finger on the first hole there. Just like that. So you're almost pinching the clarinet. Your lower thumb goes under this thumb rest. Remember how I showed you how to make a sound? So you're going to blow through the clarinet and make a sound. Well, of course, it's going to sound a lot different with the clarinet in place and with this fingering. So that's the sound of an E. Once you've learned how to do that, you place your second finger down, and it makes the tube longer, so it's going to play a lower note, which is a D. Once you got the E down and the D down and you're making good notes, make sure your fingers are right over the holes. Place your third finger over the last hole there, and that'll be a C. Take your time. Make sure that you cover the holes entirely. You blow across the reed like I showed you, and you'll be able to play those three notes. It'll give you a great head start in your beginner classes at school. Okay, at this point, you're going to learn how to read the notes on the staff, at least the first three notes that we taught you how to play. The E is on the first line at the bottom of the staff. The D is just below the staff, and the C is just below the D with a ledger line through it. So you'll see E, D, and C. Each one of those are whole notes. In other words, they get 4 counts. Now a count is just a pulse of time. So a count would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be a whole note. The next thing you see is a whole rest in the next measure. Each measure is separated by a bar line. So let's look at line 1. And you'll E, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4. I'll play it for you. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. And you'll do that through the entire line. The next note is a D. 2 fingers down, like we showed you, and you will play it like this. And play that entire line. The last note we're showing you is the C, all 3 fingers down. I hope you can get this all down. Review the other lessons as needed. You can constantly review what we've already done so that you can keep going and do a good job. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this course. Thank you. Welcome to Elefante Music. This presentation deals with proper procedures for sanitizing your wind instrument. It is important to keep your instrument both well maintained and clean. This becomes even more important if you have been sick or around anyone who has been sick. For those of you who have already purchased an instrument care kit, you have a bit of a head start, as you will find that most of the things that we will be using in this video can be found in that kit. For those of you who have not purchased a care kit, you can find it on the Elefante Music website, along with other cleaning and maintenance products. First, make sure you are working on a clean, sanitized surface. Also, make sure that you have properly washed your hands. We recommend that you wash your hands before and after cleaning or playing your instrument, and never share your mouthpiece with anyone. Let's start with brass mouthpieces and brass instruments. Start by washing your mouthpiece in warm, not hot water with the proper mouthpiece brush. Then, spray the mouthpiece thoroughly after the mouthpiece is dried with 90% isopropyl alcohol using a spray bottle. Allow the alcohol to dry and then rinse with warm, not hot water. That's it, your mouthpiece is sanitized. You can sanitize the rest of your brass instrument by lightly spraying it with alcohol, waiting for it to dry, then cleaning it with a polishing cloth. We are now going to sanitize a flute. Treat the head joint in the same manner as you would a brass mouthpiece. Spray lightly with 90% isopropyl alcohol, allow to dry, and then clean with a clean polishing cloth. Spray a clean polishing cloth with 90% isopropyl alcohol and allow it to dry. At that point, you can clean it again with a clean polishing cloth. Use a flute rod with a small piece of cloth, again sprayed with either Sтерisol or alcohol, and swab the interior of the flute body. Your flute is now sanitized. We are now going to show you how to sanitize woodwind mouthpieces, whether they're hard rubber or plastic. Clean the mouthpiece using warm, not hot water. Hot water can permanently discolor or even possibly warp the mouthpiece. Use a proper mouthpiece brush. Then you should spray the mouthpiece with Sтерisol and allow to dry. We also recommend that you clean your reed after use. Clean with warm water, dry with a paper towel, and put it in a reed holder. We are now going to sanitize a clarinet. Start by spraying a cloth with 90% isopropyl alcohol. Use that cloth to wipe all the keys, being careful not to get alcohol on the body, whether it is a plastic or wooden clarinet. Use a clarinet swab that has been treated with Sтерisol or alcohol to clean the inside of the body. Don't forget to clean the mouthpiece as we had demonstrated earlier on this video. And now we're going to sanitize a saxophone. The saxophone body is made of brass. You should spray a clean cloth with isopropyl alcohol or Sтерisol. Wipe down the sax body, being careful not to spray the pads. Then we swab the inside of the body with a swab treated with Sтерisol or alcohol. When totally dry, you can clean and polish. For cleaning the neck, which is a very important thing to do, use a neck cleaning swab. It's a snake swab. Spray with isopropyl alcohol and clean it thoroughly. When totally dry, you can clean and polish. Now let's sanitize your case, both inside and out. The first thing you need to do is take everything out of the case. You want to vacuum it so it's totally clean, and then spray it with isopropyl alcohol. You can also use Sтерisol if you wish. Allow it to dry. Your case interior is now sanitized. You can spray the outside also with isopropyl alcohol or Sтерisol.